So I get into Costco and I'm immediately happy. The other day I was there with my eldest and I was sliding down the aisle and this guy comes around the corner and he was like, "You are having way too much fun." And I was like, "Thank you." I was so happy, Shelly. Then there was these, oh my God, all of the samples, so good. And I was eating the soup and then I was like, "I'm going to do a video right now." And of course, she's like, "Oh, Mom, so cringe. So cringe, bro." And I was like, "I'm eating soup in Costco. This is amazing."
Be happy, 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 happy. Only you can.
Welcome back, Creative Mama fans. We are bringing you part 3 of our conversation with the vibrant and charming Ellyn Marsh. We have had such an incredible time diving into her perspective on what it really means to show up as authentic women, the hilarity and heart of having her daughter's friends follow her on social media, and the reminder that time is the one thing we just don't get back. And yes, Brenda makes another appearance, giving us that gentle nudge we all need. It all goes by so fast. So settle in for another party over here. Let's dive in with the one and only Ellyn Marsh.
My mom was an immigrant. She came from Italy and she loved that veneer, that facade. And my mom wasn't a bad woman, at all. But I personally connect to authenticity. And I do think that is why people connect with me. I think that's sort of, people can see through that stuff. People can see through to what's authentic. And I think, just all taking our bras off and being like, well, this is some shit, isn't it? Let's talk about how horny we are, and let's talk about our night sweats, and let's talk about fucking younger guys. And also, did you forget to file your taxes last year? Because I did. And who wants an edible? And I think that I love that. And I love women like that. I love women that just aren't putting on a show. I'm in a onesie, y'all. I'm in an adult onesie.
One and done.
And I love that. And I love women who have it all together. But I look at moms that have it all together and I go, Are you just faking it too? Are you faking it too?
Right.
And I think that should be more of the conversation. If I were to write a book tomorrow, I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I think there's a fine line between being vulnerably fearless and also being terrified. I mean, fearless doesn't mean bulletproof. Because I am a very fearless person.
Clearly.
But I'm also a fucking baby. I can have my baby feelings hurt so bad. And I was always, my parents always used to say, well, I can't dish it out if you can't take it. And part of my ADHD. Now, Shelly, you're diagnosed with ADHD, yeah? If you don't mind.
Yeah.
And so something that comes with it is justice sensitivity. Have you read about that?
A sensitivity to also criticism is a big sensitive to criticism or sensitive to if you say something and if I say something to you and you say no, but then I immediately get sensitive versus right. I agree with you. Yes.
And it's also the need for things to be right. If I see somebody make a mean comment to a trans person, it will make my body hot because I'm like, how do you do that? How can you be like that? And it consumes me. It's actually really weird and unhealthy. Managing those emotions and walking that line of authentic, vulnerable sharing, but also I'm just really emotional. I just am. It's hard. What lines do you guys draw with sharing?
I share, publicly. I think that, I had a conversation with someone the other day. It's random. He's a fan. My brother-in-law is a pretty successful actor. He started off as a fan of my brother-in-law and then through that started following my sisters and I have 2 sisters who are also creative. And he became a huge Barton sisters fan. And over the years, we kind of have this crazy, weird friendship, even though I've never met him in person. But he's scholarship. I created a camp once during the pandemic to be able to help children be closer to nature. And he scholarshiped, our nanny's son who couldn't afford to go. He's been like a
Aw.
very sweet, sweet person in my life, and I'm very grateful for him, even though we've never met. When I spoke to him on the phone the other day, because I posted something, and I post generally when I post on Instagram, like I do kind of, it's somewhat protected. It's not as vulnerable as I think that my heart really wants to be, but I show a lot of vulnerability, more than I think most, definitely more than, most out there. He said to me on the phone, he was like, reason why I love following you, the reason why I just immediately connected with you is because you show your vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that because I've
Yeah.
been going through a hard time the past couple of years. My connection with my kids, I'm vulnerable with my kids, I'm vulnerable with my girlfriends. So if I'm going to be out there in a public space, I want to be vulnerable. But how vulnerable can I really be? With this podcast, for example, I'm learning, Ellen. I don't know. Like I'm very inspired by you. And
Oh, that means so much. Thank you.
yeah, and but I'm figuring it out. So that's my answer to you is I don't know yet. I think I am. So I also know that
Mhm.
my kids, are one day going to listen to this podcast. Like I want them to know that mommy is there for them and to really be proud of me. And I want to lead by example.
Mhm.
So that is that sort of line that I'm crossing over right now. And the more honest and vulnerable I am with them, the more they will in the future be like, yeah, my mom's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I'm going through it in real time.
That's sort of like actually the stage I'm at now. All of a sudden, like my daughter's friends like follow me on Instagram
Ah,
and
okay.
they'll send, I know, Shelly, your face. And it's really cool because I, we are way cooler than our moms were. Of course, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have great tits and I show them. You know what I mean? I really lucked out in the titty department. My mom, niente. But, and so, it's just,
Yeah.
and so I'm
Yeah.
to the point where Lola, enjoys that. But I really appreciate you saying that. But I also, and again, I didn't know what I was going to sit down to when, we sat down to chat. And I feel like the overall theme of the conversation is I feel like this is, just for me, I feel like this stage in life and being where creativity has taken us. I kind of hate that word multi hyphenate, but I like what it stands for. Right. It's sort of like what you were saying, Shelly. You're like, I don't know what I am. I'm this. What do you put down? Creative? I don't know. Or,
Yeah.
I just like to put down Muppet if it's available. It's not always available. I think that at this stage in our life and where content creation is and where opportunities are, I feel like it's not about being polished. I don't think I need to be as perfect as I once was. I think letting go of fear of being cringe or weird or
Right.
too much. My
Right.
whole life, I knew I was too much. My whole life was about toning down. Ellen, don't be so big. Ellen, don't be so loud. Ellen, don't be so dramatic. Ellen, don't be the center of attention. I recognize now that that is the way my brain is wired. That was a really hard journey for me. But I feel like the good stuff lives in the relatable stuff. And the relatable stuff is the messy stuff
Yeah.
because we can all relate to needing to film something and just scattering enough shit away in the back so that the back looks clean and it's not curated and it's not the emotions are real and it's a mess. I think we sit here and we've all gone on different paths and different journeys, and sometimes they intersect and sometimes they go different ways. But I think I love the honesty of being a person who feels things and who has survived things
Yeah.
because we all have. Yeah, I always say everyone's got their shit. Something I tell to Lola is, when she says, well, someone's going to look at me and look at that. And one of the best lessons I learned is nobody's thinking about you. Nobody cares.
Oh,
Nobody cares.
yeah.
Nobody cares. Everyone's worried about their own shit. And that comes with time and age. But I think our survival, the way we've survived, the way we've gotten through as women, as creators, as ex wives, as moms, as ex-friends, when you fall out of friends, however you navigate it, it's all there and not all of it's pretty. And there's some shit that I think is cringe. And have you ever like been in the shower and been like, oh God, I can't, like literally gotten chills?
Yes.
I can't believe I did that. You actually cringe.
Yes.
But that's like, it's all part of our story, you
Yeah.
know?
Part of the story. It
And
is.
and I think that's where we all relate to each other, is taking off the mask and being like, oh my God, my kids are fucking assholes. and, and just being real with each other, because we're all more alike than anyone wants to agree. And I say that all the time in politics. The biggest thing that Donald Trump ever did was make us think that we are political enemies when really we're the enemies of the billionaires. That's the biggest trick he ever played.
Yeah.
Was making us believe that we are more different than we are similar, because we're not. We're all similar. We all want our kids to be healthy and happy. We all want them to thrive. We want them just to make it through the day. We want to feel loved. We want to feel sexy still. We want to be successful. We all want the same things. And
there's something, like really amazing about, like, I feel like at this point in my life where I am with my children, because they're 11 and 13, you know, I feel like I've learned so much about who I am as a mom, who I am as a woman, who I am as a person, just by having them and having to be in this position with them and getting to be in this position with them as their mom. And also having a strong sense of self and developing that at the same time. But there's something that I found through like being in their world with like competitive baseball and like competition in school, not competition in schools necessarily, but like their accolades, how they're doing in school, how they're viewed in school, what their reports are in school from their teachers and the elders in their school, that kind of thing. And I've come to this like place where I'm just like, if my children are home at night and they're breathing and we're eating and we have a roof over our head and they wake up to me every day and I wake up to them every day, I could not be more successful in my life.
Yep.
And I feel like there's something so powerful about recognizing, like, to your point of like, we're just the existing, and the success in being that is so great. And I think that comes with like making these gratitude lists and going back to like where you know, counting your blessings and finding your gratitude in the most fundamental way to get yourself out of whatever spinning you got going on in your head that might be taking you down. I realized that, like, you know, that right there is like, that's it. That's it. What else is there here? I got my kids. We're healthy. We're here. We're safe. Everyone's here. I'm good to go. The rest of it can fall by the wayside, and like I'm good. And I do think that part of that comes with aging. And boy, am I aging. Boy, am I aged. I'm like a skeleton sitting here at this point. But there's something that just that you can't learn that in your 30s. Like that's something that just happens as you get older.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely comes with age. Yeah.
I feel so awesome talking to you and being in your presence, because
thank you.
You are not judgmental and you embrace like all the things of who you are. And I think like your journey and you sharing your journey with figuring out all of that and how like there's so much power in who you are and all your special gifts that you bring. It's like, this is why it's so, you're walking that walk and being such an example of so many people. I think of like how, you know, how to be and how to embrace it all of who you are and all the things that, like, if you didn't fall on the bell curve, you were not good enough, you know, and that's such like an old antiquated way of thinking. And now, you know, like on this, we know now that that's no way to do it. The fact that you just do that, you're just who you are publicly. I love it. And that's why being in your orbit right now just feels so good. Cause it's like anything that I would say that would come out of my mouth, I know you would take it and go like, yep, like 100%. Yep, I'm with you. You know?
Yeah, I thank you for saying that. That really makes me feel good. And I'm not very good at receiving things. I'm trying to be better. But yeah, I just think, like, sort of what I said before, I just think we're all so similar, and it's just so scary. And you wake up and your daughter's 16, and this sounds so crazy. Tell me if you can relate to anything like this. I can feel like I can remember what when she came out and they put her on me, I can still feel what her skin felt like.
Yeah.
That I can still feel it, that moment. And I remember thinking like, oh, I didn't think her skin would feel like this. And I have like a tactile, visceral memory of it. And then I'm looking at this girl who's taller than me. She's so much more poised than I was at her age. You know, they're so much better at makeup and they're so much cooler than we were. And, you know, and I think I still have this weight of like, I have so much to teach her, but also what the hell do I know? And time is just ticking down. And again, no one tells you, you know, when Brenda, that old lady, told me that time goes fast, it's the only thing in life you don't get back.
Yeah.
You can get anything. You can get friends back. You can get ex-partners back. You can get money back. You can't get time back. And nobody tells you that when you're young.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because you're just in such a rush. And I am totally in that. I'm a chronic overworker. I'm really working on that. I've gotten better over the years, but no one tells you how fast it goes.
Yeah. They just tell you to cherish it or like, don't miss it or don't, you know, but no one really explains like,
you can't understand it. And then you're a kid, you're like, ugh, whatever, you know.
I remember when I had my two babies because they're like 18 months apart. And I remember so clearly, I was living in New York at the time and I was on the rocking chair and I had both of them, one of them with the little like, you know, pacifier. The other one was on my boob and I was rocking them and I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So exhausted, so scared. And I remember saying to myself, one day you're going to miss this.
Yeah.
One day. And I just kept saying it.
Yeah.
Your daughter is so lucky to have you, Ellyn.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes I feel that way and sometimes I don't.
Oh man, no.
You're very sweet. It's funny, you know, that thing, I was watching something a couple weeks ago. It wasn't a Hallmark movie, but it's very Hallmark. I think that, you know, when they say, oh, if I had a chance to do it over again, I wouldn't change a thing. And I was like, that is some fan fiction. Are you fucking kidding me? I want a do-over. I have so many things that I've learned that I would do differently. I mean, that truly is life. But no, I'd do so many things differently, you know, but are you without power, Shelly? What's happening over there?
Ellyn, one would think because of how dark it just got in the room, all of a sudden, I don't know, listeners, if you can see, but it's like I'm in a haunted house now. My Apple Watch is dead. My phone is not here. I'm judging the time by the sun like I'm in fucking 19, whatever. And I think it's time to take my kids to practice. That's what we're saying by the shadow that we're seeing is the sun setting.
And I have to go pick up my child in 5 minutes as well. So
yes, I have to go pick up Lola from dance. Let's all go do mom things. Did we talk about mom stuff? I don't even know. I blacked out.
I feel like there's an endless amount of mom stuff that we can talk about, but moms are humans. And you know what? We're fucking human. And, you know, let's just talk about being human.
I think we do have to remember we're human, and you have to remember that we are women and women, we're individual. We're not, our identity isn't wrapped up in being a mom. I say that to Lola all the time. I always wanted to be a working mom, but I think that's so taboo to say. I'm like, I'm so many things. Like Shelly said at the top of the episode.
When I considered not working for so long, the first 5 years of my kids' life, I'm like, I got to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I can't, how do I, what should I, and then it hit me where I was like, the last thing my kids need is my fucking crazy energy at them all day long, right? Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, they cannot be my successes. Like, that can't be where my success lies. That's crazy.
And if you're not doing what you want, they're not getting the best version of you.
100%.
You know? You all are so fun to talk to. I feel like I could just sit and gab for hours. You guys, I feel like we've been best friends forever. So tattoos on Monday, come to the vagina vacation over here. We got pink everything. I will make it so weird.
Creative Mamas Unplugged is produced by Breatheasy Productions with music by Jeremy Jurin. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give my mama 5 stars and keep coming back. Thanks to us kids, there are plenty of stories to tell, and you are not alone.
We are inspired by you. Thank you for joining our Creative Mamas community. Support Creative Mamas Unplugged on Patreon to get your name in the credits, receive extra content, and earn some fun prizes. With this, we can keep creating, uplifting, and growing this incredible community together. We love you so much. Applause.